the group project that blew up my senior year. Hi everyone, this happened during my senior year of high school, and it's honestly one of the wildest dramas I've ever been involved in. It all started with a simple group project, but ended up spiraling way out of control. Our English teacher assigned us a big group project on Shakespeare's Macbeth. Each group had to analyze the play, perform scenes, and present their findings to the class. The project counted for a huge chunk of our grade, so everyone was stressed but also trying to divide the work fairly. I was in a group with 4 people, me, Jesse, Mark, Lila, and Tony. Jesse and I were generally friendly but not super close. Mark was the class clown but smart when he wanted to be. Lila was quiet and kind of a perfectionist. And Tony was the wild card. He had a reputation for being unreliable. From the start, Tony said he didn't want to do much because he already knew Shakespeare. Jesse and I thought, whatever, we can handle most of the work. Mark was on board with that too because he just wanted to joke around. Lila was nervous but agreed to help with research. We divided the project into parts. Jesse and I would write the analysis. Lila would handle the research. Mark and Tony were supposed to prepare the acting scenes. Easy enough, right? A week before the presentation, Tony hadn't done anything. Not one line rehearsed, no script changes, 0 communication. Mark claimed he was trying to get Tony involved but gave up. Jesse and I picked up the slack. We started rewriting the acting parts because the original script they picked was a mess, full of jokes and not Shakespeare at all. Lila found some amazing sources, and we thought we were set. Then, 3 days before the presentation, Tony dropped a bombshell. He had invited another girl from a different class, Rachel, to join the acting scenes last minute, without telling anyone. This is where things went downhill fast. Rachel was not part of the group, and she wasn't even in our English class. Tony said she was super talented and could really bring the scenes to life. The rest of us were furious. This was supposed to be a group effort, not a solo show for Tony and some random girl. Jesse confronted Tony in front of the group chat, but he shrugged it off. Relax, she'll make us look good. Lila was visibly upset, saying this was unfair and broke the project rules, but Tony ignored her. The presentation day. When we got to class, the teacher was surprised to see Rachel. Tony introduced her casually, acting like it was no big deal. The teacher said nothing, but we could tell she was annoyed. Rachel took over the acting scenes, changing the lines and adding modern slang. Mark joined her in goofing around, and Jesse and I barely got a chance to present our analysis because the acting ran over time. The class was laughing, but not at the Shakespeare content, more at the chaotic, nonsensical performance. Lila looked crushed. I felt embarrassed, because all our hard work was overshadowed by Tony and Rachel's antics. After class, Jesse and I talked to the teacher privately. She admitted that while the acting was entertaining, it didn't meet the project requirements. Our group grade was slashed because the project was not cohesive and disrespectful to the material. But here's the kicker. Tony and Rachel got 0 points because they were seen as disrupting the project. The rest of us got a lower grade too because of the group project rule. Everyone shares the same grade. Jesse and I felt cheated. We tried to explain the situation to the teacher, but she said it was a group responsibility to manage all members. What happened next? We decided to talk to the principal about the unfair grade. The principal listened and agreed Tony should have been more responsible. They offered a compromise. Jesse, Lila, Mark, and I could redo the project without Tony, and Tony would have to do an extra assignment alone. Tony, of course, got mad and started spreading rumors that we were snitching and trying to get him expelled from the project. Rachel disappeared and never spoke to us again. In the end, our redo went well and we got decent grades, but the drama affected friendships. Mark started distancing himself from the group, Lila was quieter than ever, and Jesse and I became more wary about trusting teammates. I think Tony was the biggest problem here. His refusal to cooperate and sneaky addition of Rachel ruined the project for everyone. But I also wonder if we should have handled it better earlier on, instead of letting it escalate. So Reddit, AITA for reporting Tony and pushing to redo the project without him? Or should we have just accepted the chaotic project and bad grade?